Shalom, shalom, family. And what a blessed day it is. Feeling good on a Shabbat day? All praises to the Most High Elohim. Hope all is well with you and yours. So as always, family, let's get straight to it. In the book Mission to Galley, King of Dahomey, Volume 1, the works of Captain Sir Richard F. Burton. In this book, we find Captain Burton being sent by the Queen of England into Dahomey to convey a message to King Galley that it's time to bring the slave trade to an end. The year is 1863. King Galley is still heavily involved in trading slaves. In the book, the Queen urges the king to bring the slave trade to an end. Apparently, she gets an epiphany and to end what she describes as barbarous acts that he is committing onto his people. And on page 191, we find Captain Burton describing the land as he's moving up to Dahomey. It reads at the top of page 191, the land around was called Leflafun, from the Nago people, whose chief Kadi was slain by King Gezo, and who were finally settled there. The eyes dwells with delight upon the numerous country villages, like the 115 towns of the tribe of Judah, and upon the thin forest of the palm trees rising from the tapestry of herbage, here waving their cut short, which combine to make this spot Fridius, or paradise of the Dahomey land. When you read this book, Captain Burton's description of most of Dahomey is not good. He really doesn't have a lot of good things to say about the region and how the place looks. But notice what he says here about the tribe of Judah, the 115 towns, and their dwelling. He describes it as a forest of palm trees, rising from the tapestry of herbage. He describes it as paradise. Again, when you read the book, you know for a fact that if he's calling this land paradise, it must be paradise, because he doesn't hold back on his descriptions about the land. I mean, he, it seems, really doesn't like being there and does not have a lot of good things to say about it. But here we see the opposite. He's talking about Judah and the 115 towns. Right now, we as Hebrews, we know that the kingdom of Judah was on the maps dating back to the 1800s, which was around the time that this book was written. In the series, The 400 Years Are Over, we looked at that map, Kingdom of Judah, right there in Benin. We know that's right next to Nigeria. And we as the people know that Judah was right there in that land. And of course, we know that Judah is spread out, scattered in other places, especially in what we know as Africa. And of course, we know Yasharel is in Africa. But because of the slave trade, we would be scattered even into the transatlantic slave trade, which this book discusses quite a bit. Since we're on the topic of Benin, I want to bring out JewsWereHere.com. Let's go ahead and bring that out. Talking about the nation of Benin and the city of Kuda. Some people pronounce it Wada or Wuda or Judah. It reads here that in 1926, there was a large Hebrew community of black Jews in Benin, West Africa. They had a central temple and a Pentateuch written in Hebrew. In their temple are found many laws engraved on tablets, which are attached to the temple walls. They had a high priest, a large number of priestly families, whose members walked from house to house rendering educational and religious instructions to each family of the community. Just to note that there has been some debate about whether or not this is actually the kingdom of Judah, the city. It was actually the city of Judah, but we see here in the book Mission to Galley, volume number 1, what we do know is that in Dahomey there were cities of Judah. That we know for a fact. Some might argue, well, their name was just close to the name Wahuda or Woda. But as we just read, here we see in 1926, Jews were here. Listen to how they describe it and comment in the comment section below and let me know if you think it's just a coincidence or the name just sounds close to being Yehuda. Number 1, they had a central temple. Number 2, they were following the law on tablets, by the way. They had priestly families teaching each other the law. And let's not forget that they had a high priest in office. So when you hear people try to argue this, you have to know that it's not based in truth. This channel is here to help build you up so that you can walk and talk and look like the child of Yah. He wants his children built up and confident in who they are so that we can be who he put us here to be, servants of him on the earth. If you found this channel, I don't want to sound cliche, but you are here because you are chosen. You know, the enemy tries to hijack every principle and awesome thing about the Most High. He takes the words of the Most High, then he tries to coin them to himself and say, well, this is what it means. Redefines it, rephrases it. He packages it up and then delivers it to the world and calls it his own. Chosen has become a very popular word out there. We know who the Most High says the chosen are. And so this is for us to know. And so if you're here because he wants you to know. He wants you to know that you are chosen. You are his Kodesh. You're set apart. You are his treasure. And we are in a time where that cannot be stated enough. You have to know this. Deuteronomy 19:15. It reads, a single witness shall not suffice against a person for any crime or for any wrong in connection with any offense that he has committed. Only the evidence of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses will a charge be established. So when people say that, well, this is not true, this is not the kingdom of Judah, these are not people from Yehudi, are not in Africa, in Benin during this time, they are pretty much saying, well, you know what, you guys are committing a lie. We know as Israelites that is against the law, right? To lie on something that the Most High has said or something that the Most High has done. But in the law, it tells us that the evidence is only heard, right? And it's established in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. We know that many of us have heard this, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. Well, we just saw 2 accounts. 1 from Europe, right? 2 from there in Africa. So the proof is right there for this tribe being in this place at this time. And the evidence would definitely hold up in court. Why is this important? Because this is where many slaves left and came out of the slave coast and went into the transatlantic slave trade. Okay? And then eventually it would wind up throughout the Caribbean, Canary, throughout the continents of North and South America, scattered all over the place. Yep, there's many of us over there in Canada too. We did not forget about you, Canada. Jeremiah 31:21 reads, set up road markers for yourself. Make yourself guidepost. Consider well the highway, the road by which you went. Return, O Virgin Yasharel. Return to these your cities. We know that there is a day that Yasharel will return back to our cities. And so there are many of those who want to argue with us and debate with us, really to distract us from who we are, from really walking in and taking our rightful identity, putting the identity on. And the sad part about it is that many of those who are Israelites are falling for this. They're falling for the trap. Many of us are still in this Babylonian system. But the Most High is waking us up, and we are seeing his prophecy becoming fulfilled right before our eyes. The question is, are we busy following him, or are we busy following what the world is doing? Isaiah 49:3 reads, and he said to me, you are my servant Yasharel, in whom I will be glorified. So again, the Most High calls us his servant, and he says he will be glorified in us as we walk as the people, being obedient to the word, being living oracles, living epistles is what the Apostle Paul says, right? But the nations will see, man, things aren't happening so good for us. What's going on? Well, what's going on is the Most High is in control, and the Most High is speaking and referencing his people. Again, you could talk a good one. You can have a lot of knowledge built up, right? But the pride can be so high in you that you need to bring it down, not a few notches, a whole lot of notches, in order to see the Most High operate in your life. Speaking specifically to Yasharel. But how many of us know that the day of trying to convince somebody of who we are over? We don't need to convince anybody of anything anymore. The Most High is doing all of it. We don't have to try to get in the way. The Most High is doing it all. We're seeing people from all over waking up. We see from rappers to athletes to business owners, doctors, lawyers, teachers, and everything in between. And so this is not something that man can do. This is something that the Most High is doing. So we don't need to sit there and argue with anybody. We don't have to fight with anybody about who we are. We can just be it. We can just live it. They see it on us. They say, well, there they go. Proverbs 26:4-5, it reads, "Answer not a fool according to his foolishness, unless you be like him yourself. Answer a fool according to his foolishness, unless he be wise in his own eyes." You know, when people make arguments and say, well, you guys are not the people of the book, that's foolishness. Okay, we know that that's foolishness based on what the Most High showed us, based on the abundance of evidence and information. When you answer the fool according to his foolishness, you will be like him yourself. Man, listen, I have stopped trying to convince people that we are the people of the book, right? Family members, friends. When I came out of the half-truths and the false doctrine that comes out of the church, I was trying to bring all the Christians, Hebrews with me, didn't want to hear me. So you know what? Let them be. The Most High showed me that what's for you is not for them. Those who are going to wake up, you'll know it. Those who want to know the truth, they will know it in due time. It's just not the time for them right now. So you don't need to argue with them. And then when you give them an answer, now they are justified and they feel wise in their own eyes because you took the bait. It's like a chess game. You know, you throw a couple chess pieces out there, you do a bishop or something out there to get them to bite. Bishop or pawn or whatever it is, you take the bishop, you take the pawn, then you get caught up in a trap, in a checkmate. So we have to understand that this is bigger than us trying to prove something to somebody. This is real life, not a game. Most people already know who we are. We don't need to argue with anybody. Anybody that knows their Bible would say, well, you know what? There's only one group of people that really fits this narrative, that fits this description, and it's us. But will they keep it real with you? Probably not, because of the pride that's in them. It reminds me of Matthew 10:14, which reads, "And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when you depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet." So we have to trust Most High and what the Most High is doing, what the Most High is saying in this time, and not to get caught up with what the world is doing. Because believe it or not, family, you are light years ahead of what the world is doing. You're way over here and they're way back there. Not to brag, but that just comes with the territory when being a child of the Most High, being a chosen one, seed of Abraham, seed of Isaac, seed of course, Jacob, right? You are way in advance, but there will come a day where they're going to be looking for you. They're going to be looking for you, wanting to know, what is the Most High doing? What is the Most High saying? So I try to limit my consumption to what the world is talking about. We live in the world, we don't live of the world, so we got to stay informed, but I limit myself in that. If I'm spending too much time watching that of the world, then I'm not listening and I'm not hearing from the Most High. So I hope and pray that gave you some encouragement, gave you some confirmation of what you have been hearing the Most High speaking to you. But this is where we're at, people. As the Most High has been showing us, it is an awesome time to be alive. It's an awesome time to know who you are. Finally, you know who you are. And it is a beautiful thing. That is prophecy in and of itself being made fulfilled. Let us not fall for the banana in the tailpipe with all the fear-mongering going on, the back and forth about politics. We know who we belong to. We, of course, do not belong to this Babylonian system. It is our time. It is our time. Doesn't matter what's going on in the world. We have to keep our communication open with the Most High. We have to put all of our trust in the Most High in this time that we're living in. We are about to see His word become manifest in how it relates to His people. Hallelujah. Shalom, shalom. If you got something out of this channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment in the comment section below. It helps to grow the channel.